What up? What up? What up, everybody? My name's Zach, and this is,
I'm Radin. How you guys doing?
and welcome back to 2LockedIn, where we talk about everything and anything. And we got lots to talk about today.
Oh yeah, we do. We do.
And Radine, I think you want to get us, do you want to just jump us right into it?
Sure. Have you watched the new Apple TV? Yeah, that's what they call the Apple movie series. Yeah. Have you watched the new one? The new
Which
series they
one?
just put
Which one?
not the
Which
new
one?
series. I mean, 2 seasons are out. I just got caught into it. So
Oh, Severance. That's what you're
yes,
talking about.
sir.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
sir.
Great
Have
show.
you watched it?
Yes, um I kind of like I heard it was really good. I started watching it kind of like midway through season 2,
Mm-hmm.
and then I kind of just stuck with it until the finale aired like a month or 2 ago. But yeah,
Oh,
I
so it
really
wasn't
loved it.
like it
Yeah,
wasn't one
season
of
2
those
ended
series they
pretty.
just dumped it.
No, so, season 1 came out like 2, 3 years ago, and
Mm-hmm.
so the time I started
Oh,
watching season 2 was, like, it was already 4 weeks in, um, so there was already, like, 4 episodes, and so I just caught up on season 1 and then caught up to season 2 and then just watched week by week until the finale aired.
right. Right.
So,
Well,
but
I'm
yeah.
so behind, but the idea of the show is pretty neat.
Have you
For the people
finished
who
it?
no, I'm still season one, episode 8. I think I
Okay,
just
okay.
started episode 8. I kind of don't like this show. Don't get me wrong.
You
It
don't
has a
like the
kind of.
show?
Here's the thing.
It's a
Here's
hot
the
take,
thing.
but a
Let
hot
me
take.
hot take. It's a slow show, dude. Like no spoilers, but like nobody really dies, and I'm like, what am I even watching? Give
Are
me
you
some
watching it's a
blood, you
drama, are
know?
you watching a show for people to die?
I'm just saying someone's gonna die to be dramatic. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
Like
not s I mean,
the
I'm not I'm not
foundation of the
you
show
haven't
is
finished it, so
slow.
I'm not gonna say anything. You haven't finished season 2.
Yeah, but
You gotta
like
catch up.
8 season in, I mean 8 episodes in, almost a season done.
Yeah.
Boring. Like, well, to give you guys an idea what it is, so is there, from a person who has watched only eight
Yeah.
episodes of it, right? There's this guy that the story is about that works in this company called Lumen, right?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
Lemon. I don't know what they call it,
It's
but
Lumen, yeah.
it's Lumen, right? Which I don't know what kind of a company it is, and that's the whole mystery of the 8 episode that I've been watching. What do they do in that company? Now, this company has levels, right? In certain levels, they put a chip in your brain that your personality gets divided in two based on your memories. The person who is outside of workplace and the person who is inside of workplace. Which is genius. In my opinion, it's genius. Now let me explain why. Because if you work in a certain if you work in a certain documented like high priority like government like don't let like keep everything safe, this makes perfect sense, right? There's no way you can like mess up the security of your job, mess up like the policies or anything. However, it doesn't make sense to me sometimes how Lumen, the company who made this, is kind of not telling us what else they make it. You know, like what are they hiding? Right? This is the whole mystery of the show, right? So the
Well,
person who's
you gotta
outside,
watch it to find out.
yeah, you gotta watch it to find out. It kind of goes slow, and I'm like guessing. Okay, so I'm kind of a overthinker myself. So during the whole thing, the episode I'm watching, I'm like, because it's so slow, right? They're just walking in hallways. The whole show is about walking in hallways and like finding baby goats for some reason.
Oh, yep.
And I'm like overthinking. What are they doing out here? You know, like what is the whole point of this show?
It's a show that makes
But
you think.
yeah, but like
Every episode
there
you're
are.
thinking.
Go ahead.
Every episode, it kinda causes you to think, especially when you get to season 2, some crazy stuff happens. Um, but, obviously there's questions that like you said, you just asked a whole bunch of questions that the show hasn't answered for you yet, but it's got you thinking about like, what is this company doing? What is their end goal with, Mark and uh, all the other characters and stuff like that. Mr.
Right,
Milchick.
right. But I was talking to a friend of mine this morning actually about this, and I kind of sensed like the writer and the director of the whole movie they were kind of aiming some. similarities to some religions in this show, right? Now we're gonna
Oh
get to
yeah,
that in another day, another episode. But I just wanted to let that be known that there are levels to this show. It's not just a random like let's go watch Stranger Things type show. It's you gotta sit down, think after each episode about like all the referrals they
yeah.
had or the pop culture links they just had, you know. But the biggest thing that kind of ring the whole what's going on here is with the memory. Zach, do you think memory is actually that strong in you? Like, a memory can, like, let's just say this. Let me put it this way, right? Can you trust your memories? Like, do you think your memories have shaped you, or do you shape your memories? If you know what I mean.
I would say it's a probably a mix of both. Because obviously without your memories, you wouldn't be who you are. Because
All
you
right,
have all these experiences, good or bad, um, that build you person as a character. Build you as a person and as a character, not like story, but as a person. But also like you can also shape. You can I guess shape your memories, or your mind can kind of do some crazy stuff where your mind can block out certain memories because they could be too traumatic. They could be stuff that you're just not proud of, or you could even gaslight yourself into thinking that this happened when in reality it could have been the complete opposite, or something completely different. uh, but
but
what do you
getting
think?
rid of those memories, though, Zach, like when you get rid of those memories, that the show shows it too. It just changes your personality, right?
Well, no,
Like all I'm just saying, yeah,
you're basically becoming a separate. It's like a new yeah, it's basically, like you said, a new personality that doesn't have your formal memories. It's almost like a new version of yourself
right,
who where within the show, as you've watched, they've got their own memories. Like, remember in the opening, um, you know, the main characters were kinda, like, freaking out in that table room
right.
where they were like, "Yo, what is happening? Where am I? Who am I?" Because they didn't even you don't even know your own name. Um,
Hmm.
so it's a different personality as a whole where you're kinda just like, "Oh."
But here's
I
the
mean,
thing, Zach. Would you do it? Would you if you put yourself in the show, right? Like first thing I want to know, what do you think the incentive is, right? Like how much are they getting paid to have this ir- irreversible surgery, right? As episode 8 so far happening to them, right? Well, how much do you think they're getting paid? Cuz they don't drive nice cars. They live in companies housing, right?
yeah.
So I'm like, there wasn't another carrier you could have taken, like maybe just like change your job, dude, like other options. But I feel like the incentives are really good that they
Yeah,
decided to do
yeah.
this. So
Well,
would you
I
do
get
it?
I don't see, there's so much, like, ethics behind that. Because then and that, like, you watch it for the show, it's like they go down an elevator, um, you know, Mark, for example, he, like, switches. It switches from your real self to your innie, how they call them.
Mhm.
Um, and where your innie you don't know what your innie is doing. Your innie has its own memories, and you have your own memories, where, like, as we know, Mark is kinda like in the show, he's kinda, like, learning, like, oh, like, remember how those therapy sessions? Um,
Right,
where it's like your innie is, like, I don't know, a Lakers fan. Your innies likes hot dogs or some weird, like, random stuff, random facts about your actual self, where it's kinda like a version of you is learning about a different version of you, but you're just in one body. Um,
right.
where it's kinda like, what are the rights I can't speak, implications of, like, you're coexisting, but if you quit your job, remember that version of yourself dies.
Hmm.
So, it's I don't know if I would do it because, I mean, yeah, it would be great to just, go into work and then I just instantly come out and I'm just like, "Ah." But I feel like, there's something at
But your
least,
body still gets tired though. Like one way I was thinking about this is imagine it this way, right? I work all day and I want extra income, right? But I don't have the mental capacity of working triple shifts now. So I just sign up to be a security guard then my brain, the personality number
Yeah,
one goes sleep, while personality number two works, right? But the show shows that whatever you do as personality A affects your personality B, like physically at least,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
As the
the
coworker
same as
gets
mine.
tired or when they're drunk, they get hungover, right? So I don't understand. Like, also another thing I didn't understand is the fact that they kind of have different memories now, but
Yeah.
somehow they all speak English with no accent, with the same accent as the previous person. So I'm like thinking, are they working with their long term memory, short term memory? Like, is there any point? Like, which one is the more important one anyway? You know, that's
Well, I
that's
think
another thing I didn't
they
understand.
remove more of the long-term memories because your accent isn't gonna suddenly change when
Yeah,
if
but
you're still the same person, remember, so you're not, like it's a different personality within the same body, so you're still gonna have the same, you know, mannerisms, vocal inflections, you know, accent, whatever it may be, or if you don't have an accent at all, it's gonna be the same. It's just
right.
your memories are completely different. And there's
Hmm.
basically 2 separate people where, if I was talking to my, like, "Ah, bro, I wanna" there's there's stuff that happens in season 2 that I would love to talk about that I think would be great, but you gotta watch it,
I
but
gotta
you
I
gotta,
gotta get there. Also, we don't want
catch
to have
up.
any spoilers for the listeners either. So
I won't spoil it, but maybe we'll come back to it once he's done, but yeah, you're basically, like, making, like, a part of yourself, like a slave, essentially, to working, where they don't do anything else. The innies only they have basically no purpose except to work, and then,
right,
like, they don't have the opportunity. It's like almost allowing a part of yourself not the opportunity to feel any, like, happiness, love, or really to experience anything. Like, remember, they're in, like, a subliminal space. They're in, like, a white room with 4 desks attached, um, and it's kinda like
a lot of hallways. Yep.
there's a lot of hallways, where it's just kinda like you're only interacting with, like, 6 people, um,
Right.
really, you know, and
But
it's like
enough of the show, Zach. Now here's what I'm thinking.
yeah, yeah,
Okay, can you naturally, like, think about this, but intentionally forget something? You know, all these therapies, all these researches done about our memories, right? It,
yeah.
it kind of tells me it's a strong thing. It's a strong aspect of a human, right? But can you manage it by forcing it? Like, do you have control over it yourself? Do you think you can do that? Is that possible? Is it ever going to be possible?
Like just, like, without any technology at
Yeah,
involved?
like with therapies, right? Okay, like
Yeah,
just
I
for now,
mean,
forget something, meditation or something. But do you think that's possible?
well, think about it like, PTSD, for example.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's a way that, when you remember something, it's a traumatic experience. So your body kinda tries not to, but when it does come up, it's kinda like it kinda fucks you up, it's not a great experience because it's traumatizing, and it could bring you back to that terrible time, whichever it may be, or,
Hmm.
good time, not in reference to PTSD, but, like, in other specific memories, where I don't know if you'll be able to, like I said, you could gaslight yourself, I think, into believing something, but, that memory is always gonna be in the back of your head somewhere. You might forget it, like, you don't really remember anything about when you were, like maybe, like, you remember a few things when you were, like, 3 or 4 or even, like, 2, but it's like it's not like that's just gone forever. I think that's still just in the back. It's just, it's not something relevant that you need to pick back up or, like, for your current day life. Like, I mean, like,
Right.
you like, with my job, I have to remember obviously, swimming is an essential skill, so I have to learn I have to kn like, my body's like, "Oh, yeah, I remember how to swim," you know? Where it's not gonna pick up like, I'm not gonna get a memory of me as a baby suddenly when I'm, like, teaching or swimming, and it's gonna be like, "Oh, yeah, I was a baby once, like, I did this, I chew on, like, a block toy or something," like, um but yeah, I feel that's What do you think? What do you think
That
about
makes sense. No, that actually made sense. The PTSD part that you said, I actually didn't think about it. That actually makes a lot of sense. But it kind of took me to this alley of thought, which is, what would I want to forget? Do I want to forget the whole COVID era? Do I want to forget tung 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 sahur, or do I just want to forget? Remember, like the dab up, like the whole dab thing they used to do.
Yeah,
Do I want to forget that era? Do I want to forget when I was embarrassed? Do I want to forget? It kind of gives you the idea, like,
but without those,
what
you
are
wouldn't
the
be who you are
memories?
today.
I mean, without Tun Sahur, I would pretty much be the same person. I'm pretty sure.
I
Wouldn't you
mean,
be
yeah,
without
probably, but I mean,
Tun
like, but more
Sahur?
like that's more like that's like a more insignificant. But all those other
Like,
memories are
Zach,
so
what would
vivid.
you do? What would you do without Cappuccino Ballerina?
Who? What is that?
Cappuccino Ballerina.
Who? What? I don't know what that is. You guys kept sending me.
Cappuccino. Listen, Cappuccino Assassino. What are you gonna do without that?
I don't even know. I don't even know about it, so I can't answer that question. I don't know what you're talking about. You guys were sending these.
Bombarino Gusini. What are you gonna do without him? What are we gonna do
Um,
without him? Because we would have lost World War II without him.
you need
If you
help.
think about it.
Yeah. All right. like I. Okay. Let's.
You're
I
just
don't
gonna
know.
think
I don't
about
know
it.
how to
Use your
respond to that.
memory, you
How do I
know?
respond to that? That's not a good. That's not a relevant memory you're using. You just said it 3 times. That's probably the only 3 times you're gonna say it for the rest of your
Tun
life.
tun 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 sahur. That's what we're gonna do.
Yeah. That's. Oh, I don't know how you want me to. Like, how do I? There's no building block off of this for me to. You're just saying like tune tune.
What are your thoughts on tun 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 sahur?
I don't know what that is. I can't
What
give
do
you
you
my
mean
thoughts.
what that is? It's the biggest thing right now. It's tun
No,
tun tun sahur. Being in a
no.
relationship with cappuccino
Who?
ballerina.
I don't know what that is. You haven't explained to me what that is.
Guys, please in the comment section explain to this guy what's tun 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 sahur.
Oh, yeah, yeah. You know what? Go for it.
This
Go
guy
for it.
does not get it.
Um,
What are we gonna do with you,
it's
Zach?
alright. I almost just lost track of what we were talking because you just brought up
We were
like
talking about what memories you would wanna erase if you
yeah,
had the
like I was saying,
opportunity.
your memories build you as a person. Because if you had no
Hmm.
memories, then you wouldn't know your name. You wouldn't know anything about yourself, with 0 memory. Um, it's like why I could see the appeal of getting, like, another version of yourself, but, think about that version of yourself is still you, it's just a different personality. So it's like, because you're on episode 8, they've been planning to try and, you know, do
Hmm.
some
Hmm.
stuff,
Hmm.
get a message out, stuff like that. Um, where it's like these are still free thinking people. Like this is still a person where it's the ethical side is like that you're innie, you're essentially killing your innie, if you never come back, if you quit your job. Like I mentioned
Right.
earlier. So it's kind of like ethically speaking, like you're it's weird because you're killing someone, you're killing a version of yourself. But like I'm always said when
With this
one of
version
the
of
when,
yourself,
like, if a character quits the show,
right?
you kind of like I was thinking of it when I was like, he's killing
Right.
himself, but he's not, he or,
Hmm.
unaliving, but, it's complicated. It's
Right.
yeah, it's weird though. What do you need
Now,
yeah, go
I have a
speak.
question, Zach. Would this other personality of yours think that 100 men cannot actually kill a gorilla?
Yes, this is, what a question.
Listen, we gotta go back to the previous episode. How you just like
Oh,
said
we
it's
gotta reference it, yeah.
possible. Okay, it's
It is,
possible. It
because
is not
we discussed
possible.
this. We discussed this for, like,
It's
30
a
minutes
week and a
yesterday. It is
half
possible.
past that. It's a
It is
week
possible.
and a half past
100 men
this.
would beat my innie would think 100 men could beat 1 gorilla.
Then your Inya is an idiot, bro.
My innie's not an idiot, bro. The gorilla's going to get tired. I don't wanna go over this again. Go tune into episode 1, but the gorilla's going to get tired after a
So
little bit,
see, people,
and then
it
we're
does
you can
not change
but
your
we're not even
your
talking to, like,
memories.
spin around
Your
like a fidget
memories does
spinner.
not change the fact that you're an idiot. Like, look at
Well,
Zach.
that doesn't
He
make me an
still
idiot
thinks
if
it's
I'm
in
right.
it.
I'm right.
No, it's,
I'm right. See, this memory,
Zach.
I would keep this memory with me if I was being severed.
Yeah, burn the drive, bro. Burn the drive. You know what I'm
Burn the
saying?
drive.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Format that memory. You know what I'm saying?
Format, yeah. So would
Replace it.
you sever
Replace it with tun 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 sahur, brother. Tun 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 sahur.
would you sever yourself for a job?
Actually, for the job I'm doing
For
right
any of
now.
your jobs that you've
Good
worked?
question. Good question. Now, for a short amount of time, I used to work at this company that is globally known, really
What?
famous in Western America. It's a lab, like a lab, like
Maybe
blood
don't say the
work.
company.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say the name,
Yeah.
but it's gonna be a lab that's super famous. They control the west of Canada.
Yeah.
Another lab company controls the east of Canada. Recently been sold to America. So
Mhm.
that's that. I'm just gonna leave it at that. So you guys know, Canadians, Vancouver people, they know what I'm talking about. Now, I can 100% understand how sensitive this information that people there handle could get.
Yeah.
There are things that some people do not want other people's, like, as close as like their spouse, as close as their family members. No, right? And that's their choice as well, and I respect that. But I can 100% understand how a company that big needs some solution similar to the show, but not as extreme to the show, because as a worker there, I kind of have access to every patient's information upon request, so I can dig them up, I can find them. And I wasn't even a top employee. Like, I wasn't in the management. I was the lowest of the lowest ranked
Yeah.
in worker there, right? And when you have access to people's documentation, medical forms and stuff, and that level, it became concerning to me that what is the policy and what are the precautions that the company has thought about, um so the information does not get leaked, right?
So
um
you're saying that you're saying, like, people getting severed or a system or a technology similar to that would be very helpful for security reasons? Is that basically what you're saying?
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah, yeah, yeah. Because that's so far what the show is also talking about too, right? Because they don't want sensitive information to get leaked. um However, I can also see some of the functions in people with, as you said, PTSD, right? It has definitely has some functionalities, and I can 100%, now that you kind of gave me the idea, I can 100% support it to some point. 100% is
Now
exaggeration, but I can support it. But would I get it? That's the question. Would I have that when I was working at a company with the pay that I'm getting? No, honestly, if it's gonna be a surgery to my body that I have to, well, I don't know. Maybe I'm probably gonna leave like another. I'm gonna live another like 30 years, 40 years, right? Minimum, maximum, plus minus. But I'm not gonna do a surgery for $25 an hour for the next couple years, the next 40 years. But I also see how the top management of the company could possibly see this as a rational option, right? However, with the technology kind of evolving, well, the show takes place like in a hypothetical world that's like also in the past, but also at the present at the same time. But I can also see the technology getting to a place that we kind of do not need this, right? All the cybersecurity barriers and stuff getting into places, so the security aspect of it is going to be kind of resolved by the technology, right? But it comes to the medical aspect of it, like the PTSD, where I think it would be useful. But my answer is no. I would probably not take it.
okay, so you wouldn't do it. See,
No, I wouldn't do it.
I definitely I get the security reasoning you have behind it, except
Hmm.
it's like you get hired, you obviously you're gonna have an NDA or something, whatever, where you can't just, expose, patient secrets, or that goes for like a lot of jobs, lawyers, therapists, all stuff like that, where you're not supposed to just talk about um, whatever the records or the data may say about a specific person. So, would there be a point in doing that? Because um, remember, for in order for Severance to work, they have pretty high security. Like you can't bring any messages out where that would be pretty you'd have to set that up. And also something about that show is that all the management are not severed. They're just kind of normal. So you feel like there could be abuses in power, which it's stated it's shown in which is shown in the show. Um where like
Foreshadowing right there.
nobody would know that you're getting like abused. Like workplace violations could be committed and you would never know. And nobody could know because that's not you in there. I mean, it is you, but it's not you. So it's complicated because I would say like there could be definitely workplace issues, but nobody would ever know. Like if you were like let's say right now, if I was like I work as like a swimming instructor. So if my any if I'm getting like abused every day, it could be verbally, it could be physically, um, or
Right.
it could even be like, you know, any sorts of different stuff like that with a workplace.
Mm-hmm,
And then,
mm-hmm.
I wake up and I'm like, I go back to my normal self and I'm like, I wouldn't know about it unless I had like maybe like a physical bruise. But then like in the show, they could just make up a story to say how I got injured. Be like, oh, you accidentally slipped. Where that could also be a huge issue where people could just have a power trip, abuse their power. Like I could like if me and you were working together and I was if you were like your innie while doing this podcast, I could just say whatever I want. Um or I could, I mean if you listen to it backwards then yeah, you would know, but I mean it's I feel like I feel like I don't know if security is a completely valid reason. Um
To
the sole
some
reason
extent,
is this.
it is right. Like if you were a president of the United States and you had some sensitive information, like that makes sense. But again, for a normal $25 an hour worker in Canada or minimum wage, even when you make like minimum wage, that does not make sense. But like top priorities, yes, it kind of makes sense. Now, Zach,
Yeah.
tell us about how you don't know about Tun 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 Sahur.
What do you That see, you're
I'm
asking
not
me
letting
something
this
that I have
go.
no idea what you're talking about. I don't know what that
What if
means.
your memory got erased, bro? What
My memory
if?
didn't get erased.
What
I think my
if?
brain is actually saved, like,
What
I was just
if?
lucky that I didn't encounter
No,
any of
just
that.
just just tell me. What if your memory got erased? What if there's another version of you who knows Tun 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 Sahur?
There could be in a different universe, they're probably
Not universe. Not universe. Don't
here, like,
twist
right
my
now.
thing. Yeah. Right now in your room, knocking on your brain, be like, let me out, let me out. You know what I'm saying? Like something like that. What would
I
like how would you listen to them? Hold up. Would you listen to them or would you just ignore them? Be like, oh, I'm in control right now. You know
wait,
what I'm
so
saying?
are you talking about, like, the thoughts in my head? Or,
No,
like,
no, no,
that's
no.
a little
Let's
bit
just say there is a person in you right now.
a person in me, okay.
Pause. And this person, this
Yeah.
character, right? Like imagine the Get Out. Remember the movie Get Out? Shout out to
Yes.
Jordan
Yeah, I
Peele.
know Get Out.
The best movie on this planet. The best movie in
Yeah.
like the history of humanity. Anyway,
Okay, okay.
there was the scene that the guy just fell into his own mind. Remember that?
Yes, yeah.
Imagine there's a person like that, right? With different memory, but like they want to take control. Similar to what Haley, is that the character, was trying to
Yeah.
do in like the first couple episodes. Would
Or that Helena, I think?
you sacrifice yourself for that person who's also you? Or would you sacrifice that person for you? You see where I'm going with
See,
this?
this is just like a mind, because that they're both you. Uh, Essentially, they're both you.
Yeah, but
Where
are you
if I
selfless
became
for
my innie
yourself?
if my innie just kinda took over and became me, that means I'm oh my that means I would be dead. and all things considered, I would be dead.
Now there's a
But a
similar
different
movie.
version of me would
Hold
still
up,
exist. So I
hold up. You talking a little bit too much. Let me give you another movie. The movie Substance. Have you watched the movie Substance?
I haven't watched it.
The movie Substance is about a celebrity in Hollywood. It's one of those like fantasized scenarios, right? Where they have this double version of themselves, which is younger, better looking, and blah blah blah, right? That they will somehow through the movie transfer themselves into that person, right? But they can only live in that person for a certain amount of hours, and they have to reverse it. If they don't do it, the older person or the person who is cheating is going to kill the person who is basically getting um fucked over. I was trying to find
Okay.
another word for this, getting fucked over. So
Okay.
they're both the same person, two different personalities, two different ideology. They depend on each other, right? But like, as you can imagine, the movie went ahead with this idea, and the younger version messed with the older version, and the older version died, and the younger version eventually died too because they kind of needed each other, right? So would you sacrifice yourself, your time, your life for the what is the word for the other person in
Any?
this series? Any.
Any, yeah.
For your any to survive. And like, what is the guarantee that your any is gonna do the same for you as well? Like,
I
how would you
wouldn't.
make that
No, I wouldn't.
contract?
I wouldn't because here. So
You
I'm
you
not gonna
wouldn't.
say that isn't a thing that isn't brought up because, you haven't watched season 2. But, let's say, like, remember, this is not 2 separate people. This is one in the same body. And
But two
so
different.
I wouldn't
What's a
it
person? Hold up. Let's set boundaries here. What is a person to you? Is it a personality? Is it a physical body? What is it?
I would say it's
That's what I
I'd say
thought.
it's more
That's what I
than
thought.
well, let me answer the question,
No, you
alright?
can't. No, you can't.
It's
You're
a
not ready for
personality.
this.
It's your personality. Or it's
Okay,
basically
so if it's a different
I
personality,
would
it's a
say,
different
well,
person. So they're not
personality,
the same person.
like everything, like
You, my friend,
humanity.
you should go back to school. That's where I'm going to
Okay.
end it.
Well, you answer the question. What is a person? Is it your brain? Is it your body? Is it
It's just spirit.
your spirit?
Yeah.
So your soul. So it is essentially your brain.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the same thing basically what I was saying.
Right.
You wouldn't have a personality without
You
your
talk too
brain.
much. That's the
You
problem. That's the problem of this episode. You
I
talk a
talk
little bit too much.
maybe you talk more, and I've been listening. I'm listening. I'm giving
You're
my 2
not
cents.
listening. You're not
Alright.
listening.
Okay. I'll listen.
Would
I'll listen.
you literally said you would kill another person for you to survive? You just didn't even
It's
understand what you
me.
just said.
Look, it's
It's
either I
you
die
against
or they
another
die.
person based on your definition.
Yeah, that's the complication of it. That's the whole thing. That's where your morality, humanity is like, do I it's still oh, bro, yeah, this is just it's a mind fuck. That's what it is. What would you do?
Me? I wouldn't put myself in that position in the first place. How did you get there?
Alright, like,
Huh?
that's
How
a
did you get
cop out
there? Don't
answer.
laugh. Don't. Were you laughing? Were you laughing right
Why
now?
am I laughing? Because that's a bullshit answer. That's what that is.
You
That's
don't
not a
even know
real answer to
tun
the
tun
question.
tun sahur, bro. Like, you don't get to laugh anymore.
I'm letting you speak. You don't like me
That's what I
talking, so
thought.
you speak, speak.
Maybe you talk too much. I don't. I love you talking. You know what I'm
Alright,
saying? I
go
love
go,
you, but
speak,
like, you talk
speak,
too much.
speak,
Now
buddy.
here's the idea. What I'm wondering about is what is difficult is making that contract with your other person, right? Which the movie Substance was about.
Mhm.
Because there are selfish people like you in this contract, right? Which kill the other person to survive. And that's what makes it difficult, right? But of course, a nice person I would let the other person survive.
No, you wouldn't, bro. You're not no, you wouldn't do that. I
May
guarantee you.
that person, may that person find a friend who believes in him and thinks he can beat a black bear.
Yeah, you know what? Look, I don't I think you're just I think you're wrong. You're lying, of course. You would save yourself, okay? Because it is you. That is you're still you're basically so you're gonna sacrifice your entire life for a version of yourself that has no memories of you. So it's basically just a new person, a new version of you. You would do that.
Yes,
Why?
yes,
I mean,
because they're
I'm
like
not
my
trying to come across
son.
to
They're
come
like my
across as like
son. They're like my daughter. They're
some
like my kid.
selfish.
You know, I made them, right? I
They're
mean,
not your
seriously.
son.
I
They're
mean,
not your son, bro. You're not there when they're alive, when they're active, when they're the innie. You are nothing. You're essentially just sleeping that
I'm
time.
nothing. I'm.
I said you're nothing while the innie is active. That's why.
Let's take a break from this topic. You are talking a little bit too much about something you
And you
have
talk
no
more.
idea
I'm
about.
giving you the floor
I'm
to
done
talk.
with this
I
topic.
gave you
I'm
the
done with this
floor, and you
topic. We're
said,
gonna talk about this more.
"Actually,
How
I
about we
wouldn't
talk
be in
about the
actually."
performance? How about we talk about the performance of Bulls against Lakers? Oh, sorry, Rockets
Bold.
against the Golden State.
Oh, yeah, that game sucked. That game was bad.
For who?
The Rockets. I watched
Like
that
for
full game, and I was disappointed. I could have been watching the hockey game 7 double OT game, but I was watching the Rockets. The Rockets lose. But look,
your other personality was watching the hockey.
no, they weren't.
But
That's
you
not
were
how it
but you
works.
were
No,
selfish
that's not how
enough.
it
You
works.
were selfish enough. Hear me out. You were
That's
selfish
not how it
enough to
works.
take control
Buddy, you were the
and
guy who
watch a
said,
shitty basketball game, my friend.
"Okay, let me." All right. Okay, okay.
Talk, talk,
I'm
talk.
trying I'm trying to speak. Buddy, you were the one who said, actually, I wouldn't actually be in that situation in the first place." What a cop out to a question like that. When you ask the question and you don't even have an answer. Like, what's going on here?
Some questions are not meant to be answered.
Then why ask it?
Food
Is
for
it just a
thought.
question, just a philosophical,
Food
just
for
a
thought. That's a
for
food
thought?
for
Food
thought.
for thought. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Well, like,
And you know that brain of yours is hungry
hungry
because
for what?
for
Hungry for what?
ideas, for questions with no answer, with the
Well,
open
I'm trying to get an answer
statements.
out of you.
There's no answer, Zach. There's
All right.
no answers.
There
Let
is
me.
an answer. There's
Your
it's
other personality would have understood. All right.
what is that supposed to mean?
Your
My
other
other
personality would
personality.
have understood. You know what I'm saying? Like the person who.
Redeem. Would you let's say in a life or death situation, would
Right.
you sacrifice yourself to save
Mm-hmm.
me?
Yes.
You would.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Give me the situation. Give me the situation. Give me the
Okay,
situation right
let's
now.
say it's like a let's say it's a zombie apocalypse, all right? You got
Oh, you're
the
already dead.
whole friend group,
You're already
oh,
dead, bro.
let all right, you're probably right, but so
All
let's
right.
say
Hypothetically, what kind of zombies? What kind of yeah, out here? We gotta put some outlines out here, bro.
okay,
What
okay,
kind of zombies? Walking Dead, Last of
no,
Us. Are we talking about a little bit of
let's go
World War
like
Z? I think my neighbor just fell down the balcony. But anyway, a little bit of World War Z. You know, like what are we doing out here?
yeah, we'll go World War Z.
Oh, we dead. We, both of us are
Oh,
dead, bro.
yeah.
I jump in
Alright,
front
let's
of them
just go
for you.
Walking Dead zombies. We're
Okay,
in an enclosed
we
area
might survive.
where one person has to sacrifice themselves to delay the zombies or else everybody else will die. Are you
How
doing
many
that?
people? How many people are gonna die?
Let's go let's go for the whole, like, Daddy's Boys group chat, 6
hundred
people.
percent, 100%,
6
guys.
people.
100%. What am?
Okay.
Well, how am I gonna die? Are they gonna eat me? Am I
How else would you
blocking a
die to a
door? What am
zombie?
I doing? I don't
You go
know.
out on a fury last stand, You know.
No, I'm gonna give you guys all the ammunition too, so you guys might survive longer. Just jump in there. I'm planning too, so they have enough food, so they won't chase you guys.
Okay. Yeah.
All the
Okay.
sacrifices in his life, you know what
That's
I'm
good.
saying?
That's good to hear. That's good. I would think
You
about it.
would
I
push
would
me.
think about it. No, I
You,
wouldn't push
sir,
you.
you
I'm not
would
that
push
guy. I
me
wouldn't do that.
towards the zombies, and you
No, I
run
wouldn't
because
do
you're
that.
the
I wouldn't do
fastest
that.
in the whole group. You know,
Do you think I'm just some selfish guy who just wants to see
this
the world
personality
burn?
of yours is maybe the other person's not.
What there is no Yo, you wanna know something? You wanna know something that really, really pisses me off? Rage baiting.
No. How about how about no?
What do you mean, no? Oh, bro,
I'll feed off of this, bro.
you're
It's
doing
just
it
funny
right
to
now.
rage bait you. Yep.
This is I wanted to talk about this, because you and Mr. Milk for Life, shout out him, streaming right now probably, I don't know, are the masters of it. In fact, you today prior to this episode was making me lose my mind because you just send some like random stuff. I said 1 p.m. Now I'll take some fault. I was still eating, but I was expecting you to
No,
be
no,
like,
it's all
"Bro,
good. I'm sorry about today. I actually I was trying to find something and I got your call, but I was in the closet, so I couldn't get to my phone.
yeah."
Um, but I
How
saw
big
it
is your
after. So
closet? First of all, are you like going into Narnia
it's
where you couldn't
no,
fit anything?
it's actually huge.
Yeah,
It's
how big
like
is it?
let's just say 7 meters depth, 5 meters on the side. So it's
Okay, so
pretty.
it's a big closet.
It's a
So I'm
big
sure you
closet.
were like in the depths of it, basically.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I apologize for me being late. Your
But it's
other
also like
personality would have understood.
it's
So
more like with you, it's more like the communication aspect. But with the other
right.
guy, the other guy, he just bro, he pisses me off. He pisses me. He's so good at it that it's just like
That's his
I'm too
personality.
easy to rage bait. That's it. Like literally, he'll either like respond with some like nerd emoji on anything I
Mm-hmm.
say. He'll be
Mm-hmm.
like, even I've started that sometimes. I know how to rage bait him, but he just does it so easily where it's annoying. Like
You see,
it,
he has been
like one time I might
unemployed
just
for so long. Our friend has been unemployed for so long. He
no, he
has
has a job.
mastered the skills.
He has a job.
He no, he has mastered the skill set to piss you off for entertainment. And you're
Okay,
an easy target, buddy. You are probably one of the easiest people to piss off,
okay.
right?
Um,
And that's on
in
you.
that aspect,
Don't
that's
blame
not
us for it.
I
Your
don't
other personality
look.
would not take shit.
All other aspects of life, I'm chill. I don't get that mad. It's only when I communicate in this bum ass group chat is when I lose my is when I lose active I don't know. I lose years of my life essentially. But, you know, that's just life. Just gotta control.
Explain this. This is your other personality.
See, the camera isn't good enough for it to see.
Yeah, you guys cannot
The
see.
camera
It's
isn't
a
good enough.
picture of him swearing at me, saying some
That's not true.
bad stuff to me.
That's not that was a Studio Ghibli style picture of me going like this, basically. That's what it is. Speaking of that, that's a lot of energy you're using there, eh? A lot of water to generate all those.
Hate. That's a lot of hate you're giving me.
That's not hate.
You
I'm just
talk too
saying.
much
It's just a
today.
fact.
You talk too much today.
All right. How about
You
let's make this the Radin show. You talk for the next 5-10 minutes. I'll just stay
right,
silent.
right. I just want to talk about how great my friend Zach is, guys. Zach is a great person. He is well educated. He is 6'2". He is handsome.
Thank you.
He likes rap music. His favorite artists are Drake, Nav, Travis Scott. But the biggest artist that he likes is what was his name? Hold up. It's like the one who made the vampire song. I forgot his name. You guys
Huh?
probably know it.
Who?
The I don't know. It's this guy is screaming at the mic the whole time. Um,
I don't know.
Vampire Anthem.
What, Cardi?
Yeah, thank you, Cardi. He
Playboy
likes
Cardi? Yeah,
Cardi, right? Playboy Cardi. He plays basketball. He runs.
I
He
do run.
he 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 did the Sun Run in Vancouver. Shout out to him. Big respect. I mean, he was second to last, but still he did it. Um, and he also puts a lot of love in the group chat, but also with a lot of love brings a lot of opportunity to get bullied in the group chat full of boys. Now, I am probably the biggest or the second biggest bully in the whole group chat. Uh, and me and my friend, who is also the bully, shout out to Mick for life, we always search for a target. It's either our friend Zach or it's another friend called Mohammed or it's Nick. Now, Zach is more active than the other two. So obviously, we're going to go after him so we get a reaction. And sometimes we are out of pocket. So I apologize to Zach for being mean to him. And uh, it's all love, it's all fun. Um, he is also my partner in the TikToks for Daddy's Boys. Shout out to Daddy's Boys on TikToks. Please go follow. Also follow us if you're watching this on TikTok too or YouTube. Follow us on TikTok as well, please. Give it. There you go, Zach. Look, I'm apologizing to you.
I don't know.
Publicly, my apologize.
All right.
Publishing it. Let me fit. You talk too much again. You don't let me finish. Publishing my apology and give you guys a shout out. What else do you want from me, Zach?
Can I?
Zach hates me. No, you cannot.
I can't
Zach
speak.
hates me, and he also hates Middle Eastern food. Zach's favorite food is burger. I know that too. Um, yeah. Now you may talk, peasant.
Okay. Peasant. Okay. All right.
Sorry. That. I mean, my friend.
Okay. So let's take some deep breaths here. I mean, I had to take some myself while listening for that because what was the topic there? That sounded like you were making a Zach apology video, but I was just watching it. Where
uh,
I don't really know what you were talking about there. I appreciate the analysis of my character.
you're
You know,
welcome.
that's good. Some of the things were false. First of all, Nav, when you mentioned Nav, I clenched a fist. Shout out Nav. I'm not
But
a
but
fan.
but you're a big fan of him in the group chat. Like I'm
No,
I'm
I'm
not
not.
joking right now.
I'm
Wait, who
not.
is? What is the group chat
No,
like?
it's Muhammad.
Oh, yeah,
Oh my god.
about that.
Um, you said my
Um,
favorite food. You said I didn't like Indian food? Bro, Indian
Persian
food goes hard.
Persian food,
Oh, Persian food. I like Persian
Middle
food.
Eastern food.
I
No,
like
you don't.
What do you mean? Have you been to Daddy's Girl?
No, you have.
Have you
Yeah,
been
you're right.
to Were you there when we went to the shawarma place?
Yes, I was. Okay,
That
I
was a good
take that
shawarma.
back.
That was
He
a good
he he
shawarma.
loves food, but prefers burger.
You love food too, eh?
Food loves me. It's
Alright, you
a
know what? I'm gonna do an analysis of you now, and you get to listen, alright?
Before we go, was I right about your other artists?
Um, before we go where? To, like,
To the
me
next,
speaking?
yeah,
Next
the
okay,
next topic, next chapter.
so, okay, yeah, right now, Drake is in my top 5. Kendrick Lamar, I really love Denzel Curry, West Side Gun, Freddie Gibbs, um, that new Key Glock album, like that.
We do not care, Zach.
Well, you just asked me. Why would you ask me the question? And then
I'm joking. We do care. No, but Zach is a nice guy, guys. Like jokes aside, I hate
yeah,
him. I love him. It's a love and hate situation with this guy. He is smart and good looking.
it's a good thing we're 2 episodes in and we're already just we're talking about, "Oh, yeah, Zach was a great guy,"
Was
but
it arresting?
now after talking to him more, I
I
I'm
like
sorry.
his other personality more.
I like him when he didn't do this. But let's talk about Radin real quick. just to end this off,
Shout out to Radin.
let's go back, turn back the clock to my memories, my good memories of Radin, how I think of him as a person,
Which
what I prefer.
personality?
Um, which personality?
The
I don't.
Daddy's
You don't.
Boys or the podcast personality? That's what we're gonna do. That's how I'm gonna
Oh,
put
you
a.
might be onto something. We
Yeah, you
just
see what I'm saying? You see,
we
everyone has
separate.
different personalities. Okay, there is a personality for your boys group chat. There is a personality for your family.
It's how
There's a
you act
personality
different.
for
Yeah,
your
it's how you act.
school. You
Exactly.
know what I'm saying?
Okay, okay. You're
You
kind of cooking. You're
have
cooking.
shitty personality for all of them, my friend,
All right.
except one, that you're my friend.
Wow. That's wow. See, you don't get emotional depth like this anywhere else. But
But
I
yeah,
still
go
want to
ahead. You were
do.
gonna say
I
something,
want to describe you as a person. You know,
right?
I'm a big
I'm
fan
a
of you.
big dog, big bear.
But yeah, Radin, he's one of those guys where like he's real. When you need him to be, he is.
You need him to.
He,
uh,
that that was not a real laugh, bro. He's a funny guy. Great jokes. He laughed at my joke the other day.
Yo, the
With
other day, not gonna lie, Zach was cooking. I gotta give him a shout out.
so
That day, bro, I was not joking. That was Zach cooking. The other personality kicked in. He was going bam, 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 ba boom.
yeah, but
Bus
the way
buster. Bus buster. That's what I'm gonna name that day.
yes, yes. Maybe one day we'll talk about that.
I feel like I'm talking too much. I'm gonna shut the fuck up. You go ahead.
No, it's bro. We're just the opposite now.
Mhm.
Now you're me and I'm you. So our personalities have.
Right.
I'm. I was expecting a bit more enthusiasm,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
yeah, where was I? So Radin, he's very good at communication. I'll give him that. Probably one of the best people I've ever communicated with in my life. Um, you know, uh, great guy. He's dedicated to his craft. He's grinding. He's got a lot of work on his plate. He tries his best to always, uh, like to work things out. He's never a guy who has any beef or like beef too long with people. He usually tries to get them settled pretty quickly. He's someone who will check in on you um, when things are not looking too good. Um, he's he likes Nav. He likes who else? He likes Two Chains. Um,
Two chains.
he likes uh, yeah. I'm not really sure who you actually like musically right now. Um, he likes SZA. He's been listening to a lot of Katy Perry, Taylor Swift. I know
Oh yeah.
Doechii.
I'm in my summer girl era right now.
Yeah,
You know, sun's out, buttons out. I mean, what?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I like. Sorry, I know mine wasn't as heartfelt, but that's kind of a brief summarization of Redeem.
Thank you,
We'll get
Zach.
more into character as we go on, but I mean,
That's good. That's good. Also, people, now we're like almost 75% done with the episode, I'm pretty sure. But here's what I'm going to tell you guys. Please like, subscribe. If you're listening to this, let us add a comment so we know someone's actually
yes,
listening to this craft of ours. I know my boy is listening to this. Shout out to my boy. You know who I'm talking about? You know, there's one
yes,
person
yes,
that's listening to this. Shout out to my boy. Um, but yeah, please leave a comment. Let us know if you think of any topics that you guys want us to talk about. Of course, we clown a lot, but we also actually do serious parts too, right? Um, at the same time, it's only gonna get better than this. So if we just started, it's going to get better and better. That's something we can actually promise, unless Zach decides to change his personality again
yeah,
and forgets about all this work that we put in.
yes.
Now we may continue.
So just to end off, just building off of what Radine said, we're going to be trying to be a bit more. We want to try and be consistent. So, like we said, we're going to go one time a week. Um, we're gonna see if we can at least get 2 TikToks. Radine, you said you were gonna work on that. You can just
Mhm.
post those on Shorts as well. Um, but yeah, usually the audio version of this will be going up a bit earlier on Spotify than the YouTube, um, maybe like a few hours or so in between them. But yeah, we really appreciate all the feedback. We'd love to hear what topics you guys would like to hear us discuss. I have a great list of them that I've gotten over yesterday. Um, but yeah, any final words? Any final words, Radine, before we call it?
No, it's just go watch the show. It's a good show. I know I kind of like threw it under the bus. It
Oh
just I
yeah,
was looking for something else. I was more into a show like similar to the Get Out, like with a
yeah,
little bit more of a scary theme. But this show is kind of boring to me. But now I have been told, and I know I have a unique taste in music and movies. So
yeah.
yeah, go
Um,
watch the show. Watch the Substance, please, and thank you. Any music recommendation, Zach, you want to give for this week?
um, I don't think so. I
Okay.
think, but yeah, as always, I think we'll call it here. As always, it's been Zach, it's been Radine, and what do you got to do? You always got to stay
Tun tun
too
tun tun sahur.
too locked in. Stay locked in. We're here. We talk about everything, anything, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
Bye bye.
Peace.